harmful substances in the environment are widespread, no? Because of the urbanization, industrialization, rapid pace of living. So we are pressed talaga for time, sometimes to the extent that we sacrifice healthy choices because we are always in a rush. The industry produces a lot of products that are necessary for the demands of the population. However, it comes into this processing that they do use substances that are harmful. Substances such as chemicals for preservation, pest control, genetically modified organisms. Nowadays, we are really seeing the effect that it has on the health of the general population. Specifically, we are concerned rin with the effects in children because they are one of the more vulnerable populations in the group. Children are in a constant state of growth and development. The cells are rapidly dividing. So at any time during that period, children can be exposed to these harmful substances. From the time of conception, from the time of the whole 9 months of pregnancy, after delivery, and onwards, continuing towards their adulthood. Children usually, as I've mentioned, their organs are undergoing a rapid state of development. So since they are in the maturation process, so to speak, they are also not that well equipped to handle substances that we as adults can sometimes excrete out of our bodies because they are still immature. No? The organs that are needed for excretion or removal of these substances, such as the liver, the kidneys, may not be functioning at the adult level. With regards to the levels of safety, the issue here is it acceptable? Is there an acceptable level of pesticides, presence of pesticides in the food that we consume? That is a very difficult or complicated question because there is no straightforward answer. Sometimes very, very small levels can actually levels of exposure can translate to very significant health problems in the young. The regular dose response, when we see it in literature of substances, medications, usually it's linear. So the horizontal axis will correspond to the dose, while the vertical axis usually corresponds to the effects. In this case, the toxic or harmful effects. So the usual pattern of that graph will be linear. As we increase the dose, the effects also will be more pronounced, the harmful effects. So that is the regular dosage response curve. But with regards to pesticides, which are also considered as endocrine disruptors, so sometimes even at this very, very small effect, very small amount, so this is the graph. At this small amount, the effect is actually magnified. So with children, the issue there is the susceptible parts of development or the windows of vulnerability. As mothers, we are concerned with giving the best to our children. We want to assure that we give them the maximum potentials for growth, development, a healthy environment, and ensure that the quality of life is maximal at all costs. To ensure this, as mothers, it's very important that we breastfeed our children. And there is no substitute, absolutely no substitute for mother's milk. So that's the number one thing that mothers have to do and have to really devote their time and energy, breastfeed. One of the things that really have to be emphasized is that we make informed choices. Nowadays, we are seeing a trend towards decreasing the levels of pesticide residues and other harmful substances in the food that we consume through a lot of methods. One of these is integrated pest management, organic farming. All of them strive to go back to the basics, to produce food, more quality food, less toxic substance exposure, and optimize the healthful effects of the food that we consume. So one of the more important things is that we do choose organic.